yo leng la ging mo pere yo leng wano kara kara pili lili yo leng la la wo yabo yo leng wano kara kara. Yeah, I hope because you didn't pay, that's enough for you, sir. Romeo Odong, known as Romeo Odong, because we the Acholis would call you, or people in the north wouldn't call Romeo. So my full names is Odong Romeo Wilbert. I am Luo, I am a gospel artist, born to a former teacher or former teachers. My father later on became a medical doctor and a laboratory technician, Mr. Okello Benson, born in a relatively musical family. My mom taught music for primary level. She taught in very many schools. She won in post-primary music competitions where she represented the North. I think 2 different years in the Greater North, here in the Northern region. I studied in Ngulu, born and raised in Ngulu, studied in Ngulu. Yes, A-level, Central, Kampala, then I came back to Ngulu University. I am a husband, I am a father, I am a born-again Christian, 311, demon chasing, fire spitting. God has blessed me with an amazing woman and 3 lovely, adorable children. And yeah, we're looking forward to having more. I am a worshiper, songwriter, dance choreographer. I'm a functional adult literacy facilitator. I'm a business skills trainer. I'm a counselor, trauma rehabilitator, and maintainer. I am so many things in one package. I studied during the war, and I'm a miracle. I'm a survivor of landmines and war and bullets. I was born, raised here, and I went to Christ the King Nursery School, Christ the King Demonstration Nursery School. I went to St. Joseph's Primary School. I went to Gulu Primary School. I also studied a bit in Mama Cave Primary School because like I told you, my mom was a teacher, and each time your mother is transferred to another school, you also shift school. And so I had to migrate from school to school. But the biggest impact from my primary level, I would say, has been Gulu Primary School, where I sat P7, and in 1998 I was the only pupil who got a first grade in the entire, I think, Juba Road as such. And yeah, then I went to St. Joseph's College Laibi for my O-level. I went to how do we call this, St. Kitts Bugos, St. Kizito Bugolobi. For my A-level, I did Heg D, came out with 16 points, and then I was admitted for a bachelor's degree in public administration in Ngulu University. And then I had also small trainings in functional adult literacy, business skills training, small certificates as well. Yes, I had so many dreams, just like any other African child. But because my father was a real African man and he did sciences and he was very good at sciences, I think we pulled strings a lot because naturally arts subjects made sense to me and it was easier. It was the thing I knew. Then my dad wanted me to do sciences and I would really study math, physics, chemistry, biology, all these things just to try to impress him. But I think I wanted to be a teacher in the beginning because I saw many of my family members were teachers and I think the gifting was there. And then I also wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be a traveler, a journalist or something. You know, I just wanted to work with people generally. So I think later on I decided, you know what, music is, as I grew older, music became my passion. And I took after it. And here we are.
Yeah, before we get there to your music career, do you feel disappointed that you didn't follow your dream?
I don't. I am actually living my dream. I don't feel disappointed that I didn't turn out to be any other person rather than the artist that I am, the musician, the singer that I am. I have served under Watoto Church for 6 years. I also served as a volunteer with NRC, Norwegian Refugee Council, because of where I come from. People lived in the camps, so I started serving. I think for 2 years I was with Norwegian Refugee Council as a volunteer, distributing foodstuffs, stacking, doing researches during the war. And people were still in the camps. And then still with the need that came through, I served the women and children of Watoto under Watoto Child Care, by then Living Hope Ministry directly for about 6 years. And that has been as far as I served. Right after that, it's been my doing what I want to do. Like I told you, I was born in a musical family. From my mommy's side, predominantly nuns, music teachers. My grandma, who raised me, sang literally everything. She's cooking, she's singing, she's digging, she's singing, grinding for us, she's singing. So music was literally part of everything that I grew up within. I didn't study music. My biggest engagement with music started in primary with Gulu Primary School under the tutorship or the training of Mr. Okwa Stephen, who doubled as our headmaster and our music teacher. He noticed music, and so he said, I think you're good with solfa notations, musical notes, and English songs. So he would take you according to your strength. And so as much as I wanted to dance a lot during my initial stage, we were pushed aside to go and do sight singing and stuffs and practice, because that was the most technical bit of music. And I appreciate the decision that he made, because many of the guys that I studied and played music with at primary level did not turn out to be musicians. But his guidance and him noticing my strength at an early stage really gave me more desire to do music at a later stage. Yes. And so my mom, on realizing that music was my passion, she knew how much that would take me. She told me, before senior 6, I don't want to hear you involved in music at any point, just like any other parent would not want their children to go out and do music. I must train and become somebody, and I do a certain kind of job and blah, 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 you know. But as much as I was doing that, I would, within the secondary school at Laibi, I would listen to guys compose songs, and I listen to their choruses and I correct some. And by then we would play Walkman. So there were songs that would come and they would be like, you listen to that song and give us the lyrics. So I would listen and write whatever I'm hearing through the song. So my hearing skills was amazing. And that's how I started developing. As I would listen and listen to how they craft the rhymes and rhythms in the songs, slowly I was also building and maturing. So I didn't even mime when I was in the secondary level. For 6 years, I never participated actively in music. So my music was a big surprise to many who didn't see me perform at secondary. The ones who knew me at primary and the ones who knew the kind of family I came from knew there was music. So it was a whole shocker, you know? Yeah. How did I get into music? After noticing so many gaps and my passion, and then fulfilling my mom's wishes of me not actively being in music, I sat my senior 6, brought high result, 16 points in Heg D. She was impressed. And then she's like, now I think you're ready to do your music if you want to. Because she knew I really wanted. So I had a brother and a friend, and we started to think of writing choruses and starting to do songs secularly. And we recorded our first song in 2005. Yes, 2005. The song was called Gulu Boy. And everybody knew me as, yes, the Gulu Boy. And we did this. The first song we did was called Miss You Dube. Second song was called Reggae Music So Nice. Third song, African Child, Airtime. Where are they now? The Side Dish, Gulu Boy. So many secular songs.
Are they gospel songs?
No, I started secular.
How do you now move to gospel?
So we did literally everything that every artist would do as a secular artist: drink, smoke, womanize, and then 2008, I gave my life to Christ. By then KPC Gulu, Watoto Church by now, right now, and the gospel hit me hard. Then I left secular music. I joined choir. Then 2-3 years later, I did a testimony song called My Shepherd, Polo Yesolara. It was a testimony to the rest of the followers, the fans, the family, the people who loved me and my songs, that I no longer subscribe to the secular. I am now a gospel artist. Yes. And the song miraculously hit the airwaves, and I got platforms that I never expected. And it's been from glory to glory, from level to level, from grace to grace. Yes.
Okay. Yoleng.
Yes.
What
Yoleng means the path is clear.
How did this idea come about?
It is a testimony of a victory that God gave me. I am an OB of the prisons as well. Somebody arrested me for something I did not do, simply because I wasn't complying with what they wanted to do. And later on, he sued me, and I went through the courts of law. I got bail the following day. So actually, God took me to the prisons to literally follow suit everyone else. Peter went to prison, Paul went to prison. So literally our stories are biblically related. And then I come out, and that year I wasn't supposed to go abroad. But because my case was acquitted, because if I had done it and I could get convicted, imprisoned, then my capability to move borders, because the accusation was big, and God in his infinite wisdom, without the help of any lawyer, brought the truth, and the truth set me free. And then this song just came as a testimony of what God did in my life, that my path is clear to do whatever, because he is the way, the truth, and the life. And because his truth set me free, my path is clear. I continue to move in it. And I didn't see it going like wildfire. I just did a testimony. Normally, what I do is I do a song as it comes, as God puts it in my heart. I just deliver it out. How He makes it go viral, how He puts it in the heart of man, that it is a song for such a time as this, is only His work. Assault, robbery of 5 million shillings. That somebody who could not even afford the money. And then he said something like assault, grievous harm, that you have given him a permanent damage. Simply because I also have a history of boxing. I actively box, and if such an accusation is put on me, it is easy for people to believe that if really that's not your weight category, if he really did that, then surely he can give you that. And by the grace of God, everything, the case was acquitted. And surely, as I gave the testimony, then the song came, and then it started to minister to the heart. Actually, my going to prison made me learn that not everybody who goes to prison deserves to be there. Some is because of ignorance, some is because of evil people who plan things against you, and to some, they really did what they others are there because they deserve to be there. And so through that as well, God gave me a heart for prison ministry. And as we speak, I'm working on the first prison album that the prisoners are recording together with me, to bring an album out and talk about how much prison wastes time, how the young generation are supposed to avoid being in prison by living lives that are, one, in context with what God's word wants us to live, two, in context with what the law of the land states, three, they live a life that is beneficial to humanity, people around you, and the entire nation and the entire continent. So I believe it was the birth of the outreach, the Mentranet as a men's ministry, was through, I had to go through that fire. I love boxing, I love football. I am a sports person. I love music, boxing, and football. Boxing, I think it's one of those things that I do just because I love it. It's not something I want to do like a dream, but it's something that gives me fitness, keeps my body in check, and then it also gives me security as fathers. A father is the security of his family, so how can you give what you don't have? So it's one of those things that I do just because I love it. First of all, I had to do things right. The first ministry is family. If you fail as a family person, you have failed in everything. And so first I had to do it right. Marry my wife, and then there are roles and responsibilities that a father is supposed to do. I make sure I look into those. I am the security, I am the blesser, I am the provider, I am the father, I am a counsel, I'm a doctor in my family. I try to concurrently, while making sure whatever I do takes care of the need of my family. And then there are no gaps. And I want to thank my wife, because she also stands in for me, that there are things that when I'm not there, she stands in. So it's made it very easy for me to do life. And then so it also keeps me in check, it keeps me in check. Yes, that, what I do I wish my children to do, the people I hang with, do I want my children to hang with? It's the thing that also helps me a lot to do what I do, that I shouldn't be in scandals and stuff like that. I don't know. My life is just as simple as that. Maybe the biggest thing that changed my life that I think I can give everybody else is salvation. When I got to know Christ, I gave my life to Christ. That is when everything turned right side up. Not many people loved me. Not many people knew me. But the moment I started singing about Christ, about the Spirit of God, about God the Father, that's when every door opened. And so, and then taking family as something very important. I'm the first person who got married wedded in a family. The first person. Even my father was a generous man. He had many wives. His father also had many wives. His father's father also had many wives, and it's been ongoing. And so, sometimes making a decision, taking a bold decision, and saying, "I think I'm going to be different. I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to do it biblically," is the foundation. There's nothing special about me. The special thing is the Christ who lives in me. That is the difference. You're my identity everywhere I go. Jesus, my identity everywhere I go. You're my identity everywhere I go. Here in Africa, there in Europe, in America, everywhere. You know, is my identity. That's my identity. Okay. Everywhere I go. Love Addiction Production. I've seen your favor everywhere I go. I've seen your blessings everywhere I go. You are my miracle. You are my life, my identity. Music is a gift. Music is a gift. And I don't believe it is for the faint-hearted, for the illiterates only. Now, because it's a gift, even the illiterates can do. I have seen people who are more skilled in instruments and they have not gone to school, and they're musicians, and they can compose, but they can't even read and write. Sometimes this curriculum is overrated. This is what I see. Sometimes this curriculum is overrated. Yes, education is important. Knowledge is important. Wisdom is equally important. And then passion and gift. Now, because it is a gift of the Father, whether you study or you don't study, what I would advise us to do is study makes you more knowledgeable. And so perspectives that you bring in a song is broadened and widened. I think, do I make sense? Yes. It is not, you see, even teaching, people think education is for the ones who have failed to make it as lawyers and this, and then they go. But there are people who are passionate about something, and they go and study it. So it is both ways. Music is for both the literates and the illiterates. But the bottom line is, you must have the gift, and then practice, and then you must love it. And then you must have money as well, so that you are able to fund the production, documentation, and then promotion, at different stages. Yes.
Any word for youth who would like to be like you?
If you would love to be like me, give your life to Christ. 2, stay away from drugs. It's a killer. 3, sex is amazing, but you need to do it with the right person at the right time. What am I saying? In marriage, it has taken so many people down. Sex outside marriage has taken many people down. And 4, chase your dreams with a passion, but don't just do whatever it takes to get it. Do the right things that it takes to get there, because there are people who sell their souls and want to succeed. Do the right thing to get there. If it means working hard, doing border work, doing porter work to raise the money to hit the studio, do those things. Don't steal, don't rob. So many cultures have shown us different things. People are copying America, people are copying Europe. And Europe, the things that the documentations of the things they send us are only things in the slums, in the cities. They don't show us the countrysides where the real Europeans live, where their families and systems. They only show you where there are hassles. So, love your culture. You're not born in that tribe by mistake. You were born for a purpose. And that's why I did an Acholi song, and it is viral all over the world. I am Luo, and I've still achieved many people's dreams of if one song can just go viral. Many of my songs have gone, and it's taken me nations. So I am grateful that I loved my culture, and I still love my culture. Yes, many people contributed many. Mr. Kwan Stephen, the music teacher, made me want to be a teacher. Made me want to be a teacher, yes, if that's the right English. Lucky Dube, because his songs were, you see, I grew up in the war-torn region of northern Uganda, so his words, his messages meant a lot when he spoke about peace, when he sang about peace, when he pushed for peace through his music gifting. That was so. Even when he died, we had to sing a song called "Miss You, Lucky Dube," as one of those songs we did at first when I was still secular. And then so many other artists and different genres have touched me. I grew up listening to Judy Butcher. I grew up listening to UB40. I grew up listening to Michael Learns to Rock. I grew up listening to Oriema, the legend, who passed on. I grew up listening to Bimse. I grew up listening to many other now players like Ogwan Klipa. So many genres played. I listened to Jagopalo A. I listened to Temporal Mona, a living legend. I listened to different artists, and they all played parts in how I looked at music from different genres. And I think that's why I can do many genres. I can do la kubu kubu, I can do reggae, I can do raga, I can do dancehall, I can do zouk, Afrobeat, different genres.
My God, I'm grateful. Oh my God, I thank you. I thank you. Everything you've done for me. Lord, I am
Free time, I play Ludo, I play draft. If I'm physically not doing well, I go to the gym and do boxing. I do football as well. It's not one thing. You see, artists get bored easily. So the more other things outside music, the more interesting life is. So, and then sometimes I cook. I just cook for the children and cook for the family. I'm a very good cook as such. I do many things. Sometimes I wash shoes. I love to wash shoes. Yeah. Pililili, yoleng, la ging mo pereya. Yoleng, wano kara kara. Pililili, yoleng, la la wo yabu yo. Yoleng, wano kara kara. Yeah, I hope because you didn't pay, that's enough for you, sir. You're welcome.